Well, Joe Biden in Wisconsin today refusing to drop out and still touting the alleged success of Bidenomics. Well, will Rust Belt voters buy that? Let's ask Eric Hovde. He's running to flip the Wisconsin Senate seat. Great to see you, sir. Thanks for being here. By the way, your opponent, Tommy Baldwin, the current senator from Wisconsin, skipped Biden's event today. Do you know why?
Senator Baldwin literally 2 weeks ago said Joe Biden is the most accomplished president in generations. She has called him one of her best friends, has voted with him 95.5% of the time. And now, after that disastrous debate, she can't be found. She doesn't want to talk about his record, and she's hiding. But she's running and hiding on all the main issues on what Biden and Baldwin have done to the economy, what they've done to our open borders, what they've done to our health care, what they've done to our international standing. So, yeah, that's Senator Baldwin. She's off in hiding right now.
Wisconsin voters, I mean, for example, it's a very tight race now. It was a tight race in 2020. It was a tight race in 2016. It really is tight, tight as a tick, as they say. Do you think that she is going to, we've got 4 months before the election, she can't hide from the Biden issue forever unless there is a change, in which case she could make a pivot with the Democratic Party. But if Biden does turn out to be the nominee and the one who's running against Trump, how does she avoid him until the election?
I don't think she can. I think the whole party is wrestling with that very issue. What do they do? You've seen parts of the media crack and obviously parts of the party crack. But if he holds, then they're all going to have to rally around him and try to tell everybody you didn't see what you saw or you didn't hear what you heard that night of the debate. But the reality of it is, sadly, as we all know, Joe Biden has failed this country. And it's not just his mental health and his capabilities, it's what he's done to our economy.
Right.
Look, you were just talking about it with Steve Forbes. The reality of under President Trump, real wages adjusted for inflation rose by 7.7%. Under Joe Biden and Tammy Baldwin, they've declined by 2.2%. Those are real impacts in harming the middle class and the working class in this country. So she can try to run and hide, but the reality of it is they're going to have to pick a nominee. If Joe Biden's it, she's going to have to embrace him at some point in time. And if it ends up being Kamala Harris, then she's going to have to align herself with Kamala Harris.
And
but Senator Baldwin is yours.
Yeah, I just want to ask, do voters in Wisconsin realize that even if you acknowledge the fact, even if you're willing to acknowledge the fact that Biden has cognitive problems, it's not those problems that cause the mess we're in. It's policies that cause the mess we're in. Whoever's pulling the strings inside the White House is putting our country, our economy, our borders, the whole effect that we have on the world situation in danger. Do the Wisconsin voters understand that the policies need to change if you want America to change?
Look, I think they do. When I'm out there campaigning, I'm talking to people all the time. It's amazing the shift that we're seeing with younger people. I've heard stories of younger people saying, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm working all the time. I still live with my parents. I've been in the Black community a lot. They're very upset about our open borders and the crime problems. The Hispanic community, they're like everybody else, getting hammered by inflation and some of the social policies that the left has pushed, be it defund the police or allowing boys to play in girls' sports. All these issues are mattering to the people of Wisconsin. Yeah. So, look, the polls, I think, are wrong in Wisconsin. Why do I say that? Because if you look at where President Trump was before the 16 and 20 election, he was down anywhere from 5 to 6 points in both cases. In one case, he won, and the other he lost by a hair.
20,000 votes. 20,000 votes is what did. Let me just quickly. We got to wrap, but very quickly talk about your race. The incumbency still has a lot of power, whether it's the president's incumbency or the woman you're running against is to be the next senator from Wisconsin. You're down 5. You were down 5%. I think that was the last poll. The Marquette poll was just before the debate. That might have changed things, but you're down 5%. How do you turn that around quickly?
Look, by continuing to talk about the issues, there's been a lot of polls. Emerson had me down too. The point is the momentum is moving in my direction against a career politician. So if I can win this Senate seat against one of the most progressive left politicians, who, as I said, is aligned completely with the progressive socialist wing of our party, then I can not only change the control of the Senate for the next 2 years, but potentially the next 4 and 6 years. Right. So look, I appreciate any support by all your voters. I've had more attack ads by Chuck Schumer than any Republican Senate candidate.
They're pushing hard.
And I'm gaining on her, and things are looking good.
Eric Hovde, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great July 4th weekend.
Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.